What's up, gang? How we doing tonight? Welcome back to the channel. This is the SledgeHammer Wrestling Show, and I am Nick Nightmare, and I am sick as a fucking dog. I've been sick all week, thanks to my beautiful little girl, who's been pretty sick as well. And Raw didn't make me feel any better. Not one bit. A little bit, maybe during the Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman segment. Probably my favorite part of the night, although I hated the fucking ending. And we are going to get into everything. I want to encourage everybody to please use the chat room, say hello, let me know how you doing, who you are. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Donations are always accepted, but never expected here on the Nightmare Room and the SledgeHammer Sports Show. See, I'm all over the place because I'm fucking sick. I'm mixed matching my lines, my shows. We're not on the Nightmare Room. We're on the Raw Review. If you didn't see the Nightmare Room, go back and check that out. We posted up a good one yesterday as my sickness was starting to really peak, but it's still a pretty good show. And I'm going to try to do my best for you guys here tonight. And here we go. Monday Night Raw started off with another boring, drab segment. Stephanie McMahon, Mick Foley, Authority people, beginning the year much like we ended last year. And no change in sight, everybody. Absolutely poor segment for the opening of Raw. And the whole point of the segment to book matches that we've already seen. And that also shouldn't be probably shown for free on Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. The implications of this match, I mean, at least they were implications. At least they weren't fighting for nothing. And, I mean, in the end it was pretty much nothing, but they were fighting to see which one of them would be banned from ringside during the United States Championship match between Roman Reigns and Y2J Chris Jericho. Did anybody really believe Chris Jericho was going to win this thing? Did you believe it at all? I didn't. I didn't expect for one moment, even though he used one of the greatest heel tactics of all time, made famous by the late great Eddie Guerrero, the bait and switch title move, and he would still not be the one to unseat Vince McMahon's golden boy Roman Reigns. The match quality tonight was Owens and Rollins, they did as good as they could. They kicked off the show. They were the first match of the night. And it was a decent match. I just wasn't invested in it because I don't understand why we're seeing it now. I don't understand why they're not saving these matches for, big events. Find ways to be creative and use storylines and angles and storytelling, but that's not what they do. They just give you everything now. It's an internet world and everybody expects it now. Nobody has a long attention span, according to WWE Creative, and we gotta do it now. Strike while the iron's hot. Do it now. Absolutely not. So after this match, Kevin Owens would lose, of course. And why did he lose? Because he's Kevin Owens, and that's what he does. He fucking loses. That's what they do on Monday Night Raw. They make their champion lose. Why do they do this? Because they have no respect for Kevin Owens. They have no respect for the Universal Championship. And they don't care about where they're going. They don't care at all. What's up, Ronnie? Happy New Year, buddy. Kevin Owens will not be ringside for Chris Jericho later on. And it didn't even matter. We would then have Carl Anderson versus Cesaro. Absolutely surprised at the outcome. And it was, again, a decent match. I didn't care for it, though. It's just more senseless tag team division booking. Why would you go one-on-ones right now? Gallows and Anderson, they get no respect from nobody. Just like Kevin Owens. They don't give a shit about this team. They've been made to look foolish for the longest time now. And it's hard to take them seriously. And Cesaro put on a great match with Carl Anderson, who would actually get the win for once. Holy cow. Luke Gallows would get involved. Sheamus would come down as he was up at the announce booth. You guys watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. Then we had probably what I think is the match of the night. The match of the night, absolutely. Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn. Now, this last man standing match was very well done, but the finish was awful. Absolutely awful, guys. This match should have been done when Sami Zayn hit that spot, flew through the turnbuckles, and Braun Strowman just laid him out and had him down on the floor. The ending was anticlimactic. I didn't at all like the way they ended things. It was just fucking ridiculous. I mean, it made Braun Strowman look good. It made Sami Zayn look terrible, as has been what has been happening here. There we go. Had to get rid of that jerk off. We got a troll in the chat room here. But he will no longer be bothering us, as that's probably why my attention has been a little swayed for the opening of the show, and I apologize for that. But now, we're back on. Alright, yes, Braun is definitely going places, but where is he going? At the end of this match, at the end of the show tonight, in my opinion, they sacrifice everything that they are building with Braun Strowman, and I don't give a shit who it was. There was no reason for them to end that show the way they did, and we're going to get to that, as I'm not going to jump too far ahead. This match, you know, Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn, they have a great chemistry. They have great timing with each other. It's a great feud. I just don't like how the match was really booked. It was a good match. Everybody knew Braun Strowman was going to win. They weren't going to make Sami take this now. And the best thing they could do, at least in my opinion, would be to not show us Sami Zayn again. Leave him off TV, allow Braun Strowman to do whatever it is they are going to do. And then you have Braun Strowman get eliminated by Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble. Somehow. Continuing this feud on. And you could keep building it on the road to WrestleMania. Keep having Mick Foley keep them apart. You never know. And have this match at WrestleMania. Maybe for a title. Maybe have him get the damn US title off of Roman Reigns. Once Roman Reigns eventually wins the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble coming up. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we keep going. A stretcher was brought out for Sami Zayn after the match. Mick Foley came out with some attendants, and Braun Strowman wasn't having it. Knocked him off the stretcher, went real vicious with it. I loved it. I mean, that part of it was good. I just didn't like how he could body slam him onto the concrete, and that was like the finish. I just didn't like. I didn't like that part, but everything that happened after that, Braun Strowman continuing his path of destruction, not allowing Sami to get medical treatment, hitting him again, throwing him into the barricade like a rag doll. Absolutely fantastic. Then we had, listen, and I'm reading the report from Forbes.com. This way I don't lose track. So I got a little bit of a live report going on. And this jerk-off, whoever wrote this report, decides to say that Titus ONeil shines in segment with the New Day. I don't care about Titus ONeil at all. I don't want to fucking see him, not for 1 minute. Unless he's with Darren Young and the Primetime Players as one of the better tag teams they've put together in the last few years. That's the only way to use Titus Young. Titus Young. I just combined the two names. Being sick sucks, you guys. And the whole point of this was what? He wanted to join the New Day? Why? The New Day don't need a fourth member, and it definitely doesn't need to be this non-charismatic bullshit bull of a man, Titus ONeil. Get the fuck out of here. Absolutely terrible. And then we have the match between Xavier and Titus, where Xavier gets the win with a roll-up, making this big goof look exactly like the jerk-off he is, and the sunset flip for the 1-2-3. Fucking waste my time. Wasting my time, waste of TV time, waste of the New Day. Anything that has anything to do with Titus ONeil is a waste, except, as I said, the Primetime Players gimmick, which should come back as soon as humanly fucking possible. We see Bayley and Stephanie McMahon in the back. More Stephanie, great. Fantastic New Year coming. More authority bullshit. And essentially, this segment was everything that Stephanie McMahon would say to Daniel Bryan, but to Bayley. Absolutely fucking bullshit. And then we find out that Bayley's going to have a number one contenders match against Nia Jax. Why? Why is Nia Jax in consideration for the number one contendership spot? I have absolutely no fucking idea. What has she done? Who has she beaten? She took out Sasha Banks. She didn't beat Sasha Banks. She took her out. She kicked her little crutch away. Threw her into the ropes. So now she's in consideration for the number one contender spot. I don't understand the logic. And knowing where they're going, because we're not stupid, we all already know now that Nia Jax is going to lose this match to Bayley, making her further look terrible. But at least they took a little bit of a better step in this match when they would have Sasha Banks come out, which I already knew was going to happen. Like, it's too predictable for me. As soon as I saw the match, I'm like, alright, Sasha's coming out, distracting Nia Jax. I thought maybe disqualification. I didn't know they were going to let her just be cleanly pinned by Bayley in the middle of the ring on Monday Night Raw. Great maneuver. Bayley to belly off the top rope. This ended up being the last wrestling match we would see on the card of the whole night. I jumped ahead a little bit. We had some more stuff going in between. But this was the last match of the night. Terrible pacing, terrible timing. In between, when we get back to that, we had another segment after this whole Bayley and Stephanie backstage. We had Noam Dar stalking Alicia Fox. I don't care. I don't want to see it. It's fucking stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Things like this should be reserved for 205 Live. Build your storylines and shit there. Put on 10 to 15 minute, 20 minute cruiserweight classics on Monday Night Raw. This way people will be more inclined to tune into your network. They don't give a shit about Noam Dar. And if he wants to lick Alicia Fox chocolate nips, they don't give a shit about that. I know I don't. Nobody gives a shit about Cedric Alexander being with Alicia Fox. We want to see Cedric Alexander versus Kota Ibushi again. We want to see Cedric Alexander versus guys like Tajiri, who'll be debuting tomorrow night, we were told, on 205 Live, which I can't wait to see that. Absolute ridiculousness. Then we get a cruiserweight match. Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander with Alicia Fox. Drew Gulak actually gets the win here. Again, very quick, stupid showing for the cruiserweights. Tony Nese gets involved from the outside. Drew Gulak seemed surprised that he won, which I thought was kind of amusing. He was reacting almost like Kurt Angle, like, and I won, overreacting to his championship, screaming, I won, I did it, I won, fucking ridiculous. I don't like the way they use them on Monday Night Raw at all. Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship, which, as we earlier discussed, absolute nonsense. Nobody believed Jericho stood a chance, so this match was a waste. We all knew the end result. Jericho tried to do his best impersonation of Eddie Guerrero, throw the title belt into the hands of Roman Reigns, and then fall to the floor, making it look like Roman hit him with the belt, even though he didn't. But this referee, for some reason, was not stupid enough to just ring the bell, as they normally are. This referee gave Roman the benefit of the doubt. Chris Jericho would hit him with a code breaker, a beautiful code breaker, right on the button. Roman Reigns kicks out. Ends up hitting Jericho with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains his United States title. It's looking more and more to me inevitable that this man is going to have both championships by the end of the month. And he'll probably be forced to drop one, the U.S. title, of course. Hopefully we get a tournament of some sort, because they're never going to let anybody beat him to give the title to. So he's just going to say, here, I don't need this one. I'm going to keep the red one. Terrible. But, we can always hope that they do something a little different, huh? You never know. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick again. Why? Why are we doing this again? Is this like the 6th, maybe 7th time in the last 2 months that we've seen these two go at it? Brian Kendrick has made a career out of defeating TJ Perkins at this point. And Perkins in this match, with a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. With a shot at Neville on the line. The winner would go on to face Neville on 205 Live. TJ Perkins gets the win. Who wants to see Brian Kendrick versus Neville? Me. But they're both bad guys, so it's not going to happen. But TJ Perkins, my least favorite cruiserweight, gets the win with that stupid knee bar that I hate. Brian Kendrick taps out very quickly. Surprising to me. Another waste of time and talent after this match. Rusev and Jinder Mahal, an interesting tag team, which I'm not hating, goes up against Big Cass in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Enzo stuck in the outside. This is what I thought we were going to see last time, but for some reason now, Enzo is legit hurt. So, not legit, but storyline hurt, and can't get out of his wheelchair to help his big buddy. Big Cass didn't care, as he would take on these guys 2-on-1 and go down in a big way. Very surprising to me, because I thought that Big Cass was much higher on the list, and I thought that he would at least get the pin over Jinder. Excuse me. But that did not happen here, as Rusev would get the pin on Big Cass. And we'll see where they go with this nonsense now. The best thing that could possibly happen out of this whole thing is maybe we get a new tag team in Rusev and Jinder Mahal. Excuse me. Wow, that was a bad one. I'm not lying when I was telling you I was sick, and that's why this show is kind of shitty. I feel it, I know it, but we're going to get through it. We're almost at the end here. After this, we had the Bayley versus Nia Jax, which I discussed before. Hate seeing Nia Jax lose. She's an absolute beast. And even though they used the right kind of a scenario, not, having it be 100% clean and having Sasha come out for the distraction, how much of a distraction is Sasha Banks to Nia Jax anyway? We might as well just start calling her Nia Job, because that's what she does. She jobs out to everybody they put her in the ring with, and she has become less and less threatening. Like, why would you be afraid to go up against Nia Jax? She's lost to Sasha before. Everybody's forgetting about that. She tapped out to the bank statement once before. Bayley versus Nia Jax in NXT wasn't even that great. And I'm always touting the greatness of NXT, but that was one of Bayley's lesser feuds. It just didn't grab the way they wanted it to, and then when they moved along to Asuka, everything started to heat back up for Bayley again. But this definitely was the right way to book it. If you were going to make the big, beast lady lose, make her be distracted. And then Bayley goes and gets, like I said earlier, tremendous Bayley to belly from the top rope. And holy cow, 1, 2, 3. Bayley gets the win over my girl Nia. And she will be going on to face Charlotte at the Royal Rumble, as we all already knew going into this match. So I was very confused at the point of the whole thing. It was just probably to get Bayley on. Absolutely ridiculous. Then we had the debut of the Kevin Owens show. And this segment just dragged on and on. If you ever wanted to point out, if you were a film or television producer and you wanted to have a class on how to overbook a segment or how to put way too much into a small amount of time, you get the end of tonight's show. What was supposed to start out as an interview between Kevin Owens and Bill Goldberg became an interview between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho until Bill Goldberg came out. In the middle of this interview, it's as if they didn't even want to get to Bill Goldberg and he just came out and interrupted, or they were going too long and they sent Bill Goldberg out ahead of time. We'll never know. But what makes this more and more interesting is, I don't know if it's their lack of faith in Bill Goldberg on the mic. I don't think it was that, because who would come out next? Roman Reigns. And then who comes out? Braun Strowman. All these people making claim to the fact that they are going to win the Royal Rumble. Well, Roman did not make such a claim, but there was no reason for him to be in there with Bill Goldberg. What are you doing? I don't understand. All because Kevin Owens mentioned his name, or who mentioned his name? Oh no, because Goldberg's like, I don't care if it's even Roman Reigns, and what, he had to come out and defend his honor? Stupid. And then Braun Strowman comes out and he's like, no, I'm going to win. You all have to go through me. And then what do we get? We get the punking out of Braun Strowman as he gets taken out off his feet in a big way for the first time since the brand split, and they've been trying to build him up as this monster, with a double spear from Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg. Nice way to make him look strong. Why didn't he duck it out, hit the ropes, come back, double clothesline the two of them? Make him look like the future. Make him look like the big star, because that's what you have. You failed to deliver on Braun Strowman tonight. You sacrificed Sami Zayn, as we say constantly, for this man, only to have him look like a fool when it comes to the part-time legend Bill Goldberg and the company favorite Mr. Roman Reigns. I don't understand what they were doing. Obviously, this is them trying to build towards the Royal Rumble. It was very, very cheesy. I think that it would have been much, much more compelling. A much better way to go off the air if you would have had Braun Strowman standing in the middle of that ring and Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns laid to waste. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho looking on from the outside. Paul Heyman, who came out to make sure everybody didn't forget about Brock Lesnar, looking on from the outside. That's what should have happened tonight. That would have clearly shown that Monday Night Raw is taking new steps in better and brighter directions for 2017, but that is clearly not the case. I feel like shit, and I apologize for this show's quality, because between having my first troll show up in this fucking room here and my throat going out on me and trying to hold back every cough that comes my way, this has just not been a very fun episode for me. I have to get up and go to my bullshit job in the morning. I called out from work today, but I am not allowed to call out tomorrow unless I guess I'm dying, because I have to be there. So we're going to sign off tonight. I want to thank you, Ronnie, and whoever else is in there but not using the chat room. We have a couple of people watching tonight, which is great. And I want to thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button while you're here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up, as I always ask you to do. I did my best. And you don't have to really like it, but just hit the like button for me, because I did my best. I did my best. I did my best. Alright, everybody. I will be here tomorrow after SmackDown for SmackDown Live. Hopefully we get no trolls who fill my chat room with profanity and stupidity, taking me off my game. And hopefully I feel a lot better. And I know that SmackDown will make me feel better, because we got The Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title tomorrow night. Looking forward to seeing AJ Styles and what everybody else is getting ready to do with John Cena leading up into the Royal Rumble. Thank you so much for being here tonight. From my boy Blue, who's not as sick as me. Have a good one, you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Live.